Welcome to Stories of Hope. Today's episode unveils a tale of love, betrayal, and the painful truths that come to light in relationships. This is the story of Ethan Richards, a devoted husband whose world is shattered when he uncovers his wife Claire's deep-seated deceit. Ethan Richards, a 42-year-old architect, had built a life that many would envy. Residing in a beautiful suburban home in Dallas, Texas, he had always prided himself on his dedication to his family. His wife, Claire, a 38-year-old woman of grace and charm, seemed to complete the picture-perfect family. Together with their young daughter, Emily, they appeared to have it all. Claire was known for her magnetic personality. Her charm could easily captivate anyone around her, making it all the more astonishing when Ethan discovered the truth about their seemingly idyllic life. Ethan worked tirelessly to provide for his family, often taking on extra projects to ensure that Claire and Emily wanted for nothing. His sacrifices went unnoticed, or so he thought. One typical afternoon, Ethan returned home earlier than usual. He had forgotten some crucial documents at the office and decided to retrieve them before heading back. As he approached his house, he noticed that the front door was slightly ajar. Frowning, he pushed it open and stepped inside, assuming Claire's best friend, Jessica, might have left it open. From the kitchen, he heard the murmur of voices. Claire and Jessica were engaged in a conversation that would change Ethan's life forever. Ethan paused, his heart racing as he overheard their exchange. "Claire, Jessica, it's remarkable how easy it is to keep Ethan under my thumb. He's so devoted and obedient, like a loyal dog. I've got him completely under control, fulfilling my every wish without a second thought. Jessica, I don't know how you manage it. Claire, I'd be terrified of him finding out. What if he discovers the truth? Claire, it's all about making a strong first impression. Once you set that tone, everything falls into place. I've been living like this 4 years, and it's worked out perfectly." Ethan's heart sank as he listened. The woman he had devoted himself to was speaking with such disdain about their relationship. Claire continued, revealing that she had been unfaithful and was planning to leave Ethan once he had paid off his financial obligations related to her parents' house. "Claire, I've been waiting for Ethan to finish paying off the mortgage for my parents' home. Once that's done, we'll divorce, and I'll be free to be with my true love. Ethan has been a fool, working tirelessly to support us." Ethan's world crumbled as he listened to Claire's plans. The man who had sacrificed so much for her, taking on debt to support her parents, working long hours to provide a comfortable life, was now confronted with the stark reality of her betrayal. Ethan's hands trembled as he walked into the kitchen, his face a mask of pain and disbelief. Claire and Jessica looked up in shock, their smiles fading as they saw the anguish in Ethan's eyes. "Ethan, Claire, we need to talk." Claire's face turned pale, her mind racing as she realized Ethan had overheard their conversation. She tried to maintain her composure, but the facade was slipping. Ethan's voice, though calm, was filled with hurt. "Ethan, I've heard enough. You've shown me who you truly are. I've dedicated my life to this family, and this is how you repay me." Claire attempted to explain, to mitigate the damage, but Ethan was resolute. The truth was clear, and there was no turning back. He had made up his mind. "Ethan, I'm filing for divorce. Emily will stay with me. As for the house, it's in my name. Your parents will need to find another place to live." Claire was left in stunned silence, realizing that her carefully laid plans were unraveling. She moved out, seeking refuge with her lover, and soon discovered the harsh reality of her new life. The luxurious lifestyle she had enjoyed was replaced by financial strain and hardship. Claire's departure was marked by a series of challenges. The financial burden of supporting herself and dealing with the fallout of her actions was overwhelming. The glamorous life she had once known was replaced by the struggle of making ends meet. She had to find a job and adapt to a new way of life. The transition was difficult, and the realization of her mistakes hit hard. The weight of her actions and the consequences they had on her and her family became all too clear. Ethan's new beginning. Ethan, meanwhile, faced the daunting task of rebuilding his life. The divorce was emotionally draining, but he focused on providing a stable and loving environment for Emily. Despite the heartache, Ethan found strength in his role as a father. The process of adjusting to life as a single parent was challenging, but Ethan was determined to create a nurturing home for his daughter. The financial strain of supporting Emily alone was significant, but Ethan worked tirelessly to ensure that she had everything she needed. One day, Claire received a call from her mother, who was still living in the apartment that Ethan had purchased for them. Her mother's voice was tinged with concern. Claire's mother: "Claire, we're trying to find a new place to live. We're grateful for what Ethan did for us, but it's becoming increasingly difficult. We don't want to overstay our welcome." Claire's mother's words served as a harsh reminder of the sacrifices Ethan had made. Claire was left to confront the reality of her decisions and the impact they had on her life and the lives of those around her. Ethan sat alone in his home office, the weight of the recent revelations pressing heavily on his shoulders. The room was filled with the usual clutter of architectural blueprints and drafts, but today they felt like a mere backdrop to the turmoil in his heart. His mind was replaying every moment of Claire and Jessica's conversation, struggling to come to terms with the fact that his marriage had been a facade for so long. As the days went by, Ethan focused on rebuilding his life and providing stability for Emily. The divorce proceedings were arduous, marked by tense negotiations and emotional strain. Yet, through it all, Ethan remained resolute, prioritizing his daughter's well-being above all else. He managed to keep their lives as normal as possible, ensuring Emily's routines and happiness were preserved despite the upheaval. Claire, on the other hand, was grappling with the consequences of her actions. The transition to living with her lover, Victor, was fraught with difficulties. Victor's financial situation was less stable than Claire had anticipated, and she soon found herself facing challenges she had never encountered before. The luxurious lifestyle she had grown accustomed to was replaced by a constant struggle to make ends meet. Claire's life took a drastic turn. She adjusted to her new circumstances. The apartment she shared with Victor was modest, and the once glamorous social life she had enjoyed seemed like a distant memory. The reality of working for a living and managing household responsibilities weighed heavily on her. She took on a job she had never imagined herself doing, just to make ends meet. The once precious designer clothes and expensive accessories were replaced with more practical, everyday items. Her interactions with Victor were strained, as the pressures of their financial situation began to affect their relationship. Claire struggled with the absence of the luxuries she had once taken for granted, and the emotional toll of her decisions became evident. Despite her attempts to project confidence, the cracks in her facade were increasingly visible. One evening, as Claire sat on the small balcony of their modest apartment, Victor joined her with a concerned expression. He had noticed the change in Claire's demeanor and the growing distance between them. "Victor, Claire, we need to talk. I see that you're not happy, and it's affecting us both. What's going on?" "Claire, it's just, everything is different now. I thought I could handle it, but it's harder than I expected. I miss the stability we once had." "Victor, you knew this wouldn't be easy. We made choices, and now we have to face the consequences. But we're in this together, and we need to support each other." Claire nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. The conversation was a painful reminder of the life she had left behind and the stark reality of her current situation. It was a turning point for Claire, as she began to reflect more deeply on the choices she had made and their impact on her life. Ethan continued to focus on his daughter, striving to create a positive environment for Emily. Amidst the challenges of single parenthood, he managed to balance his demanding job with his parenting responsibilities, often staying up late to complete work and prepare for the next day. As the months passed, Ethan found solace in the small victories of his new life. Emily thrived in her environment, and Ethan began to regain a sense of personal fulfillment. He reconnected with old friends and found support in his community. The pain of the past remained, but Ethan was learning to navigate his new reality with resilience and hope. Claire's reflection. Claire's journey was marked by a deep sense of regret and self-reflection. The luxurious lifestyle she had once taken for granted was gone, replaced by a more modest and challenging existence. She had to come to terms with the fact that her actions had led her to a place she had never imagined. One evening, as Claire sat alone in their small living room, she received a call from her mother. The conversation was filled with concern and understanding. Claire's mother. Claire, I know things are tough right now, but you need to remember that you have people who care about you. It's never too late to make amends and find a path forward. Claire, I know, Mom. I've made mistakes, and I'm facing the consequences, but I'm trying to find my way. Her mother's words resonated deeply with Claire, prompting her to reconsider her choices and focus on rebuilding her life with a sense of purpose. She began to take small steps towards personal growth, seeking counseling and exploring new opportunities for self-improvement. As time passed, both Ethan and Claire began to find their paths in the aftermath of their tumultuous experiences. Ethan's commitment to his daughter and his determination to create a stable life for her paid off as Emily continued to flourish in her new environment. Ethan's professional and personal life gradually improved, allowing him to embrace a future filled with hope and new possibilities. Claire, despite the challenges she faced, began to rebuild her life with a newfound sense of resilience. She worked diligently to overcome her past mistakes and focused on creating a more meaningful and fulfilling existence. Her journey was one of personal growth and redemption, marked by a renewed commitment to honesty and self-awareness. Ethan and Claire's story serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities of relationships and the importance of facing the truth. Despite the pain and heartache, both individuals were able to find new beginnings and embrace the possibilities of a brighter future. At Stories of Hope, we share stories that inspire and offer hope. If you found this story compelling, please like, comment, and subscribe for more narratives that explore the resilience of the human spirit. Remember, even in the darkest times, there is always hope for healing and renewal.